Every bull market has one coin that defines the cycle. In 2017, it was Ethereum. In 2021, it was coins like Matic. And so far, this cycle, since 2022, it has been Solana. However, for the rest of 2025 and going into 2026, I believe the coin that will define the cycle and outperform everything else is a project called Tectum, and the ticker is TET. And in this video, I will be going through and explaining in depth why Tectum is capable of 100x gains and higher. Welcome back to the channel. My name is DK and I've been a crypto investor for over 5 years now. I run Crypto Crusaders, arguably the greatest financial community out there, with over 400 members and over $9 million invested across the board. On this channel, I share my views on market trends and investment strategies to help you make generational wealth in crypto. Okay, so I was initially going to start this video by doing a deep dive into the tech, a deep dive into what the project's about, a deep dive into all the underlying numbers. However, I remembered most of you people listening to this are degenerates, right? You don't care about any of that. You don't care about the intellectual thesis behind it. You care about how much money you can make. And you know what? So do I. I'm not in the crypto for the tech as much as it interests me and as much as it excites my autism. I'm in it to make money, as are you guys. So let me start off with literally just the chart. So here we can see big green zone, massive order block, clear respect of this level, multiple tests, big rejection from it here, big bounce from it here, and again we're still chopping inside this key zone. So we're at a strong support at the moment, and as you can see, we're in a little wedge, and we still haven't broken to the upside yet for TET. So what am I expecting from here short term? Let me show you. Let me just draw the path here of what I'll be looking for from here. So the market as a whole looks at a good level to impulse. I'm expecting altcoins to go crazy from here, especially TET. TET will outperform the majority, if not all. So here, what I'm expecting is a push up to this red zone at $1.60. And that should be within the next couple of weeks when I've recorded this video. So already a 2x from when I'm posting this. Should make a move up to here, and again we can have a little retest of this level at $1.20, and from there I'm expecting a big impulse towards $6. And as you can see with the already existing blue path here, I'm expecting a lot higher after we reach these levels. So how much is that? Technically this is by the start of October. Let's see how much gain you would make just in a month. That's an 8x. So an 8x from here, from when I am recording this video, currently at $8. Put in 1k, you're on 8k in a month. If you put in 5k, you're on 40k. Put in $200, you are on 1.6k. Those are insane returns, and most people would be more than happy with that if that was their end of cycle expectation. This isn't our end of cycle expectation. This is what we're looking for in a month, 30 days, which is ridiculous. However, the fun doesn't end there. What am I expecting long term from TET? So I've told you it's capable of 100x. What does that mean? Well, prior all-time high for TET, and I'm not going to zoom out and show you on this chart because it includes key levels and information only withheld for CC Elite members. Crypto Crusaders is my private crypto community in which we have almost 400 active members and over $9 million invested across the board. Our mission is very simple. It's to make sure every single member can capitalize on this bull run, which most likely is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make generational wealth. As you can see, it's been going pretty well for us. With the highly anticipated bull run on the horizon, interest to join has been at an all-time high. And we're actually going to be raising prices and potentially closing signups very, very soon. So if joining a group like this is something you're interested in, I'll put an application link in the description of this video. And in the meantime, make sure to join our free Telegram channel below. So, prior all-time high for TET is $47. So already from here, you're making more than a 50x just to all-time highs, which I do believe it will reach and further. So 100x from here puts us at $80. And after I start explaining to you the underlying numbers about why even $80 is bearish and how it can go so much higher than that, you'll understand my price target. So I'm looking for over $100 per coin. And yes, it is capable of that. It's more than capable of that. So at $100, you'd be looking at well over a 100x. You'd be pushing towards 150x from current prices. And you might be thinking to yourself, 100x is crazy. Even a 10x is crazy. Has this ever happened before? If you're new to crypto, you'll be thinking, does this happen? In what kind of financial market can you make 100x returns in a matter of months? Well, welcome to crypto. Standard practice here if you know what you're doing. If you're in the right coins, you've got the right analysts guiding you to making the right decisions, you can definitely make 100x and more. And I've done it in a previous cycle. So last cycle, coin called Dent, I've mentioned it in a previous video. It did a 120x return in 3 months. 3 months. Now I'm expecting this to pump for more than 3 months. But if Dent, which was a much inferior project in every single way, and a higher market cap than Tech currently is, managed to pull off 120x in 3 months, imagine what something like Tech could do in, I don't know, let's say 6 months. I'm not going to give you, again, a specific time frame because that information is withheld for CC Elite members. But I'm giving you this coin for free because I have extreme conviction in this personally. Now, again, this isn't financial advice. It's my personal opinion of what I think this coin is capable of. Now, remember, if I'm posting about this, it means I have very high conviction in it. I would not record a YouTube video for a coin that I didn't think would perform. Why? Because it makes me look like an idiot posting a coin and it's like, oh, well, it's down 95% now since you posted about it and it didn't pump once. So again, my reputation on the line here. That is how much I believe in this project. So like I said, by the end of October, even by mid-October, I think you're looking at around a 10x, to be honest. Pushing towards a 10x from current levels. Could go higher than that as well. I doubt it goes lower than that. I doubt it underperforms a 10x from here by the end of October. I think it goes higher than a 10x. But let's just say 10x. 10x your money in a month. Who says no to that? And 100x your money by the end of the cycle. Again, who says no to that? Unless you despise money, you hate money, you want to live in poverty for the rest of your life, you know, each to their own, fine by me. I personally don't, which is why I'm heavily invested into TET. And I've been buying every single level here. I bought here, I bought here, I bought here, I bought lots here, bought more here, and I've bought more here. I'm just stacking this coin as much as I can because I know what it's capable of. I know what it's capable of in a month, which is a 10x in my opinion. And I know what it's capable of in 6 months, which is a 100x or more in my opinion. So now let's get into the nerd stuff. Let's start with the numbers. So TET currently sits at a $8 million market cap. And as you can see, that's fully diluted. This is ground floor territory here. At this valuation, TET is trading at less than 0.01% of the size of coins it could very realistically compete with. There are coins that TET is significantly superior to, that are sat at billions of dollars of market cap. This is $8 million. And those coins that it's competing with billions of dollars of market cap, they're not even fully diluted. And what that means is there's constantly token unlocks. They're constantly throwing coins onto the market. And what that means is that market cap rises disproportionately to price. So price doesn't have to go up for the market cap to go up because they're still releasing coins. And as they release coins, the market cap increases, which means the max price it can reach decreases. If you don't understand that, you don't need to. All you need to know is that a fully diluted market cap is very, very, very bullish, and TET has a fully diluted market cap. Now let me give you a comparison here with Solana. Solana market cap is sat at $100 billion. $110 billion. Do you understand the difference between TET and Solana in terms of market cap? TET is like 20,000 times smaller. I don't know if my math is correct there, but 20,000 times. Right? Now, I'm not saying, and I would be stupid to say, that TET is going to compete with Solana. Even though I prefer TET as a project, even in terms of the core tech, I think TET is superior to Solana in every single way. Even forgetting the return on your investment, TET as a project is better than Solana. Okay? But TET just isn't going to compete with Solana. It hasn't got the mind share of Solana, and it never will. That's just the reality. TET is not going to do a 20,000x. But even if TET gets to 0.001% the size of Solana, you're making crazy returns. Generational wealth is possible, right? So even though TET is a better product, it's not going to compete with Solana. But it can get to a fraction of the size of Solana and make you generationally wealthy. Very important thing to realize. Now let's get into what TET does. Now I'm not going to go too deep into the tech. If you want to, I recommend you read the white paper, you go on their website, Tectum.io, and you do your own research. Because this video would be too long otherwise, and to be honest, most of you will probably want to research it in your own time rather than sit here and listen to me yap about it for 3 hours. The video would be too long. So what makes TET different? So most so-called fast blockchains, they make trade-offs, right? There's always a flaw. There's always a negative silver lining to what they claim. So they usually sacrifice decentralization. They become centralized, so your transfers aren't private. Or some level of security. Or they just barefaced lie and they never verify their claims. So this isn't the case for TET. Their transaction speed, as you can see, exceeds 3.5 million transactions per second. Now again, for comparison, let me just quickly look up what Solana's transactions per second are. 65,000, right? Do you understand the difference here? Solana does 65,000 transactions per second. Now bear in mind, Solana is known for its speed. Let's check Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm reading an article now, it wants to reach 10,000 transactions per second. That's what it wants to reach. Now remember, TET does 3.5 million transactions per second. And this isn't a random white paper claim. They've not just written, oh, we do 3.5 million TPS without any explanation, any proof. No, this is all verifiable. They've shown it on live streams. Now, what's even better than that is that they have sub-cent fees per transaction. It's essentially zero, right? You don't pay anything for transactions. Now, again, the Ethereum blockchain is known for having high fees. When Ethereum is pumping like crazy, there's times where you'll have to pay $300 to buy $1,000 of something. That's 30% of your investment gone just on fees to buy. Now Solana, okay, Solana's cheap as well. Let's say just under $1. TET is a fraction of that. Even smaller fees than Solana. Near zero. It makes zero difference to any of your investments, any of your transactions. You're essentially not paying fees. And another massive point behind TET of why it's so bullish is that they focus on security. So you'll never get compromised. You'll never get publicly outed for a transaction. I mean, I don't know what you guys get up to on the blockchain. I don't want to know either. But if you're doing anything crazy, it's completely private. Nobody else knows. Nobody can know. And again, none of this is marketing hype. None of this is me trying to big the product up with hyperbole. None of this is them trying to big the product up with hyperbole. This is all, again, verifiable. It's all in their tech. And their tech, for me, is the greatest on the market. And it's so undervalued. So now let's get on to another thing, which for me is the best part about tech, really. Let me just see if they've got it written here. SoftNote. So, what is SoftNote? So essentially, SoftNote is a peer-to-peer payment system that is essentially digital cash, right? There's instant settlement. It's completely private and it's merchant ready. So SoftNote, without me going into too much detail, as I've already said, it's digital cash, right? So you can pay a business for their services instantly without any fees, essentially, tiny fees in crypto. Decentralized, nobody knows you've done it, and it's instant. Let me just make that very, very clear. It's instant and it's effortless. As you can see by the UI here, it's very easy to use. I've tried that out myself. Very, very simple to use. So the difference here is thinking, okay, well, why could I not just send Bitcoin? Well, first of all, there's less privacy. Second of all, and most importantly, it's so much easier. It's so much more user-friendly. And when it comes to crypto projects that are, ambitious and actually want to reach a certain level, user-friendliness is one of the most important things, because nobody's actually going to use a product that is just difficult to use. Whether it's an eyesore, it looks crap, or whether it just takes ages to set up. This isn't the case with Tech. Looks very, very good, very easy to use, like a normal digital wallet. And it is so much easier than a digital wallet. Because, for example, let's say you want to pay to join CC Elite. The way we do it is, I would tell you the Bitcoin address, for example. You then have to send Bitcoin to me. And what that process would entail is you, first of all, ramping your crypto onto an exchange, which is a headache in itself. Secondly, you would then have to buy the Bitcoin. Thirdly, you then have to see the exact wallet address that I've given you. It's a long address, and you're most likely going to copy and paste it. But if you can't copy and paste it for whatever reason, you're going to have to type out this long-ass random numbers and letters. And then you think, okay, you know what? First, I'm going to send $10 just to test, because I don't want to lose the full thing by doing something stupid. So then you send the tester. I receive it. Yep, it's here. You then send the rest, and then it takes an hour to get across. It's not efficient. It's not user-friendly. No business will want to accept payments that way. I certainly don't like it, right? Now, SoftNote makes this easier. Again, I'm not going to go into the exact autistic detail about exactly what it does. I recommend you go to their page, Tectum.io. You go on their about and you read their white paper. So the most important thing here is the market gap. Not the market cap, the market gap. That is the gap between Tectum's market cap and the potential it can reach. Now, when you bridge the gap between user, between retail, between buyer, and companies, for example, Tectum have teamed up with an airline company who accept crypto payments. When you bridge that gap from user to company and make it easier for them to make money, that product will always succeed. Always. Unless it's run by a bad team who are bad at the tech, which certainly isn't the case for Tectum. So you're probably asking, okay, if tech is such a good project, if this is so good, the tech is so good, the chart is so primed, why hasn't it pumped crazily yet? Why has it not gone on a huge parabolic run? Why is it not at billions of dollars of market cap? Well, first of all, it has gone on a parabolic run since the boys in CC Elite first bought in. It did 15x on the first run. Now, that's nothing compared to what we're expecting. Again, we're expecting a 100x plus from here. But why isn't it already at 100x plus? Why is it only at $9 million market cap? The answer to that is the team are engineers, not marketers. The team are all about the tech. And as you can see, the tech is outstanding. What that comes with is there's no hype. There's no influencers being paid to shill. There's no hyperinflated valuations that you get with a lot of these other coins. In fact, I did a bit of digging into some FUD. And FUD means somebody speaking negatively. I did a bit of digging into some FUD that was done towards TET. And funnily enough, it was done towards a lot of other layer 1 and layer 2 projects. The exact same FUD, exact same words being used. And after a bit of digging, I found out that these people FUDing it were paid by another project in the same field to essentially get people to sell. Now that goes to show. Now I'm obviously against that, and it's immoral and all of that. But those other projects are paying for essentially marketing. To go and cause FUD on another project is marketing for your own project. Now TET don't really like to pay for marketing. They don't like to throw money at influencers. In fact, I have a lot of pull in the TET Telegram. The people in there respect me, they know me. And I tried to partner up with TET. I tried to say, look, I'm going to be promoting the project anyway, but let's work together. You can put me down as a marketing advisor because their marketing isn't great. And they said no, because they're focused on the tech. Now that isn't an amazing thing. Of course, that is a flaw. But there's two ways you can view it. You can either view it as, it's flaw because pre-Altseason, pre-gigantic gains across all altcoins, they're not focused on marketing. Or you could see it as, well, I get the opportunity to buy one of the greatest projects in the entire market at a complete discount and only $9 million market cap when it can reach over $1 billion market cap. You can do more than a 100x. This is an opportunity. So for me, I'm glad that their marketing to date hasn't been good. I'm genuinely happy because I've been stacking. I'm one of the top holders. I've been stacking and stacking and stacking because I believe a lot in the project. Believe is an understatement, right? So what this lack of marketing comes with is an opportunity to buy the lows. Now, this is where fortunes are made, by getting in before the liquidity arrives. Now, if you watch my previous videos about Altseason, about what I expect the crypto market as a whole to do, you know Altseason hasn't even started yet. So the pumps on alts haven't even started yet. I've also spoken to the tech team, and they said they're going to be shifting towards marketing from Q4 onwards. So from now onwards, this is when they're going to start marketing properly. They've barely been marketing to date. So we've got three things coinciding here. First thing is the project is insanely good. The tech is insanely good. In my opinion, it is the best investment in the entire crypto space. The second thing we've got is that they haven't marketed it much to date, but they're about to start marketing. So this is the point of where you buy as much as you can. And the third thing is Altseason is about to start. And this isn't just any regular Altseason. This is the biggest Altseason you'll ever see, most likely. This is the biggest Altseason we'll have to date. And it's probably the biggest Altseason we'll ever have. Because we're bridging the gap between crypto being this Ponzi scheme and crypto delving into traditional finance. And when you do that, the amount of liquidity that goes flying into a very undervalued space is crazy. I regularly call it the digital gold rush. That is what this cycle is. People will be rushing to buy as many altcoins as they can, and I am confident TET will be at the forefront of that. So what you can expect next is that TET will begin to pump. Why? Well, not only because it's an amazing project, but because we're at the point in the cycle where we're entering a risk-on period. Again, watch the previous videos to understand this. And in this risk-on period, low caps like TET will go parabolic. You'll see 10x's, 20x's all over the place. The 100x's will only come from coins like TET that genuinely have amazing utility and present an opportunity like this at the pico lows for you to enter. That is where you're going to get your 100x. So from here, you'll start to see pumps up to $2 for TET, $2.50. Then you'll get a little bit of chop, and then boom, impulse towards $10. Again, more chop. Then you will start running towards all-time highs at $50. Now that is before the fun even begins. So you've already 5 to 10x before the real gains come in. The real gains will come in when we enter price discovery, which is above all-time high. There's no resistance above. That is when you will get crazy pumps. And you'll be genuinely looking at your portfolio like, how is this still going higher? If you don't believe me, join CC Elite and you'll know the boys in there know exactly what that feeling is like of your portfolio just flying day by day. Those of us who were with us for the previous alt season prior to this, the little baby alt season compared to what's about to happen, will know that we made up to 60x gains in 3 months. I'm telling you, this period that we're entering into now will dwarf that. These are the opportunities right now as you're listening to this that can genuinely change your life and give you 100x returns. And this is the perfect time from a macro perspective. We're entering the risk-on environment. Bitcoin dominance is breaking down. Altcoin liquidity is surging. And we are entering the narrative rotation phase. That little insider information will begin with layer 1s and layer 2s like TET. Now, I cannot tell you what to do with your money. But what I can tell you is this. You will not get many more opportunities like this again. And I know for a fact that in 3-4 months, when TET has done 20x, people are going to be messaging me, bro, is it too late to get in? Is it too late to buy? The answer will be no, it's not too late to buy. But regardless, the boys who actually, and the ladies, if you're a lady, you're watching this, God knows why you're watching this, but fine. If you're investing in crypto now, and you invest in TET now, you're already going to be 20x up when these people are messaging me endlessly. Is there still time to buy? Now, even if the answer is yes, and even if it can do another 10x from there, that 10x from there gives them a 10x. But that 10x from there gives you, who buy and take my advice here, a 200x. So now is the time for action, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. Do what you want with your money, but I can assure you, you will not get many chances like this again. And you most likely missed the 2017 bull run. You then maybe tried your hand at the 2021 bull run. Maybe you lost everything. Now I'm going to ask you, will you be on the right side of history this time? Or will you once again watch as other people make money that you should have been a part of? And look, this is shaping up to be a 30-minute video on a very, very small concept. I'm telling you about one coin. If you're looking for deeper dives than this on the market as a whole, so that you know every single move in advance, everything that happens in the market, you need to be in CC Elite. So that wraps up the deep dive. And remember, every single cycle has a sleeper coin that goes on to outperform the entire market, despite any doubters who are footing it at the bottom. In 2017, everybody saw Ethereum and crypto as a whole as a Ponzi scheme. In 2021, everybody overlooked coins like Matic. In 2022, up until now, Solana has been mocked as it's gone flying up to all-time highs. The same thing is going to happen to TET. The same thing has been happening to TET. Being footed, being mocked, and now watch. In the next 6 months, you will see a period of ridiculous market outperformance. And look, you can't go back in time. You can't go to 2017 and buy Ethereum. You can't go to 2021 and buy coins like Matic. You cannot go back to the start of this cycle and buy Solana. You missed those trains. However, the TET train has barely even started taking off. Now is the time to buy. And the difference this time around is you know before the crowd, because I've shared it to you before anybody else knows about this coin. But once it breaks out, it's too late. If you end up FOMO buying massive green candles when TET is above $50 per coin, you're going to be exit liquidity. Both mine and CC Elite's exit liquidity. Take this information that I presented in this video and position accordingly.